At last, Queen's Park Rangers have themselves a new centre forward. 25-year-old Slovenian striker Žan Celar has joined on a permanent deal from Lugano for a reported £1.7 million. So in this video, I'm going to take a look at his career to date, his playing style, and what we can expect him to bring to QPR next season. If you enjoy this transfer deep dive, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let's jump straight into it. Žan Celar was born on the 14th of March 1999 in Kranj, Slovenia. His football youth career began at Senkur, and he would progress through another two teams in his home nation, Triglav Kranj and Maribor, by the time he was 15. A year later, he would make his senior debut in Slovenia's top division and would be called up for his first international appearances for his country. As of 2024, he has been capped 59 times since his first call-up for the under-15s. Celar spent 3 years at Maribor in total before attracting the attention of Roma Primavera, the youth setup of Italian club AS Roma, in 2017. For the next 2 years, he would play for the under-19s, and he would excel at his new club. He scored 15 goals in 35 appearances in 2017-18, and an impressive 28 from 30 in the following campaign. This not only earned him his first professional contract with Roma and his senior debut for the club as an 86-minute sub for Patrick Schick against Empoli, but it also gave the club enough encouragement to loan him out to a senior team in 2019-20. Celar joined AS Cittadella in Serie B between July 2019 and January 2020, where he managed 3 goals in 13 games before joining Cremonese for the second half of the season, where he scored twice in 11 appearances. Cremonese were clearly pleased with the 21-year-old because they opted to bring him back on loan for a full season in 2020-21. He made 29 appearances that season, including 2 in the Italy Cup, scoring 2 goals throughout the season. Now, his returns may have dwindled that year, but Celar had by no means hit a wall. In the summer of 2021, Swiss Super League side FC Lugano made a move for the Slovenian. He put pen to paper on a 4-year deal, Lugano handed him the number 19 shirt, and he got straight to work, scoring a brace and setting one up in his first start for the club in a 3-2 win against FC Luzern. By the end of the season, he had not only reached a total of 14 goals and 5 assists, but he'd also got his hands on his first silverware in the shape of the Swiss Cup. He was no passenger in the final either. He set up the opening goal and headed home the last in a 4-1 win over St. Gallen. His eye for goal only sharpened in 22-23, scoring 16 and assisting 3 in the Super League as Lugano finished 3rd, and last season he bettered himself once again, scoring a career best 21 goals and assisting 4 in 49 appearances in all competitions. Celar has consistently scored goals for Slovenia at youth level, and while he's yet to net for the senior Slovenia side, he remains very much in their plans since being capped in 2021. He made 3 sub-appearances out of 4 at Euro 2024, including a 4-minute cameo against England at the group stage, and he played 45 minutes against Portugal as Slovenia forced the tie to penalties in the round of 16. Unfortunately, Diogo Costa's impressive shootout display between the sticks meant the win was sealed for Portugal before Celar had the chance to take his own penalty. And that brings us to the present, where we find ourselves in some kind of bizarre alternate reality in which QPR have signed a centre forward that actually has a bit of a habit of scoring goals. With 101 goals in 237 appearances, Žan averages roughly 0.42 goals per game. His 51 in 118 appearances for Lugano over the past 3 seasons works out fractionally higher at 0.43, or 0.58 in the Super League alone. So how does he do it, and what does he play like? Well, at 6'1", he is a strong physical player whose key attributes are his effective hold-up play and keen eye for the corners of the goal. He's very comfortable playing with his back to goal and allowing others time to get up the pitch, and his strength in holding off opposition players by all means necessary is impressive. And while he's not the quickest player on the pitch, he's pacier than both Dykes and Frey and can get in behind when needed. Most importantly though, his finishing is top notch. He's very much a service striker, with all 40 of his league goals over the past 3 seasons for Lugano coming from inside the box, though he isn't afraid to let rip from afar either. Inside the box is where he truly comes alive though, scoring from all kinds of angles with his left, with his right and his head, despite his right being his stronger foot. And as I say, many of those finishes are placed well into the corners. Despite his stature, he's not just your typical lump in the box. His tidy finishing is by far his strongest attribute, reflected in him consistently overperforming his XG over the past 3 seasons with Lugano. He was joint top scorer in the Swiss Super League last season, and as pointed out by Jack Supple on Twitter, since joining the club 3 seasons ago, he has scored more than any other player in the league. Now this all sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, here are 2 caveats for balance. Firstly, going back to the point of him being a service striker, Celar is going to need delivery. That's not hit and hope crosses into the box for him to try and nod in. This is balls in behind, cutbacks in the box and knock-ons. Give him the ball in a good position and he will finish for you, but he won't create alone. As I said in my last video, we haven't exactly played in service of our forwards for the past 2 or 3 seasons, so that is something that will need to be resolved this year in order to get the best out of him. For counterbalance though, his hold-up play looks a touch above the other forwards at our disposal, and so his link-up play should reward him with more interactions from his teammates. The other caveat here is that Celar hasn't played in England before. A good finisher is a good finisher, and being a more physical presence, I doubt he'll struggle with the physicality of the Championship too much, but it may take him time to adapt his game, having played the last 3 seasons in Switzerland and the previous 3 before that in Italy. Regardless though, on paper the signs look very promising for our new striker. Clearly this is a data-driven transfer, and as I say, when you're a team that don't score enough goals, bringing in a forward that does is the place to start. That doesn't guarantee him to be a success, but it certainly gives him a good head start. The interesting part now is what this will mean for Frey and Dykes. QPR don't lump 1.7 million on a striker to have him on the bench. Cesar will be our starting number 9, likely with Frey in deputy. Dykes, I imagine, will not be here by the end of the window if the club can get a good offer for him, which if they can get 2.5 million for Armstrong, I'm more confident than ever that they can do. That means we'll ideally be looking at bringing at least 1 more striker in to share the workload. In my head, it would be nice to replace the loss of pace in Armstrong with a nimble, shorter profile to offer us the ability to change up games, a bit like the heady days of our Wells and Hugill combination. For now though, I'll keep myself busy watching Celar's goal compilations. So there we go, that is our new centre forward in a nutshell. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this transfer deep dive and you're not already a subscriber, please do hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.